Hello and welcome back once again to the American Sushi Podcast, where we talk about things. The most generic intro of all time. I got you.
Thanks, man. Why are we in emote-only chat?
We got it.
We?
We're good.
Whoops.
We're
It's
good,
because
yeah.
there was Twitch botting problems for a little bit. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but
No, I haven't. Yeah.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
wait because it's a whole thing. We don't have to get into
I feel like emoji speak is literally. I did a report about this in college once. Like in 100
Ooh.
years or so, that's just gonna become like the future language. Like we just communicate with a series of emojis. You know?
Yeah,
I
think
I'm already
I
halfway
agree.
there.
Yeah. And don't say it couldn't happen either, because I mean I'm not saying like English would be phased out, but this could be a thing too.
Oh, absolutely.
It just evolves into another language. Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious now. Will
Kinda
we
funny.
see like a new language that's just strictly emoji and like people
I could
actually
just
are
see,
fluent
like,
in it?
Yeah, like now it's
Yeah.
like the beginnings of it, and then give it a few hundred years, and people probably come up with some weird shit. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But anyways, we are here with my co-host, of course, Evan, or Blue, because he's dabba-dee-dabba-da.
Hey guys, it's me. Welcome back.
And we also have a very special guest today. We are welcoming Tekking 101, YouTuber, pirate captain, and as some call him, the human One Piece Encyclopedia.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome in.
Those are all titles I never thought I would have, but all right, I'll take them. I'll go with them. Yeah, sure.
So the first thing we usually do, if you don't mind, is just get. Well, I mean, I already gave you quite the introduction, but if just tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and any other information you feel like spilling.
Yeah, sure. I'm Tekking 101. I'm 5'5.5". That's very integral information. I had to explain there.
Thank you.
Um,
The
I'm going to
perfect
I'm
male
going
height.
to a wedding in a couple of months, so I had to get fitted for my tux yesterday, and I'm
Ooh.
just like, yeah, everything was very like, I know I'm short. I'm sorry, like to the person.
Sorry.
Well,
It's like, yeah.
I think
I-
you're the perfect male height.
yeah.
But no, I run a YouTube channel, Tekking 101. I talk about One Piece mainly. Used to talk about Bleach for a while, but then it ended. But then it's coming back, so I'm probably going to talk about that again.
Oh yeah.
Just got a new setup, new place, so I'll probably be doing some new stuff coming down the pipeline as well. Coming up, I want to start a cooking thing kind of soon on the channel when the
Oh.
One Piece cookbook comes out, because of course there's a One Piece cookbook coming out. But yeah, so that's me. I've been around for a while. You guys were talking about my older stuff earlier. And I'm like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Been a-
absolutely.
I started the channel in 2009, so it's been a while. Yeah.
That's OG.
OG as
That
can
is-
get.
That's like some Dark Side Phil level timeline.
Oh God, yeah.
So 2 questions I have right off the bat. The first one. So I vaguely remember, if I'm not mistaken, did you have a series on your channel where you made toast? Am I
Yeah.
misremembering that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it was toast. It's still on there. It should be. It should be.
Yep, it
type
is.
in
I saw
Tekking
it.
101 toast. Yeah.
saw
So, yeah. The origin of that was I was in college at the time, and I had a friend there, and I haven't talked to him in years. But me and him were just talking about YouTube one day, and I think he said something along the lines of like, "Hey, you should just make a show about toast." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." And then I did it, and had no real concept of, like, the first episode was just this goofy thing. But then I'm like, oh, I know. What if I make like a bunch of episodes, and each episode continues to get darker and darker to the point where the 6th episode is an allegory for like depression, and it's like what the hell? Like, I don't even know what I was doing. Like the 6th episode is all in black and white, and it's like real. I play somber like Bleach music in the background, and it's just like,
Oh.
yeah. I keep meaning to do season 2, but just never got around to it. Maybe I'll do season 2 now if I come up with some idea for it. But yeah.
Ooh, that could be a good YouTube Shorts series.
I have
Yeah.
you know what? With a shorts format, that might actually not be a bad idea. Yeah.
That's the highest praise I've ever gotten on one of my ideas.
You sure about that?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're probably right.
But
So-
I do have an intro for it somewhere on my computer, and it's basically just a ripoff of the Stranger Things intro with the letters, except it's just Making Toast season 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm mainly just hoping when you bring this cooking show around, at the very least, I'm hoping to see like a piece of toast cameo in the background or something.
I'll have like a toast thing in the background or something. Like, yeah, I'll make it work.
Perfect. Can you walk us through kind of your YouTube journey? That's another kind of basic question, but it's been around a long time. So.
Yeah, I when I hit my 10 years mark, I did a little mini documentary. Documentary makes it sound very professional. I did this 3-part series where I talked about like the different eras of my channel. So first was the medieval era, because when I first started doing YouTube, I was 16. It was 2009. And I did these video game reviews for an old game on the PlayStation called Medieval, which was a fantastic game. I loved it. And they just had a remake that came out on the PS4 a couple years ago as well. So I did a review of that game and the sequel. Then after that, I only had like 50 subscribers after like a year or two of doing that. And I'm like, all right, well, it didn't work out. Then I graduated high school, and then I just like, you know what? There's a lot of people on YouTube talking about manga. Let's do that. Started talking about Bleach, did that for 5 years, and Bleach ended in 2016. And then I picked up with One Piece, and then we're here right now, which is crazy to think that I talked about Bleach for 5 years, from like, summer of 2011 to summer of 2016 when it ended. And now we are 2016 to 2021. So I've been talking about One Piece for about as long as I've been talking about Bleach. And that's insane to think that much time has passed.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And now I do D&D sometimes where I blow off my hand with a character. Yeah.
So something about that era, because that's around the time like I started getting into making videos as well, as like around 2016. I think I started with like the anime stuff in 2015. I didn't even know the anime community existed on YouTube, but that's where I found you, is through all the Bleach reviews. So like,
oh, thanks.
I was around during that time, and I vaguely remember. I don't know if this was like, if I just imagined it, but I think I remember when Bleach first ended that you were going to, or you were thinking about before you started One Piece, that you were going to do My Hero exclusive reviews.
Yeah. So this is a weird kind of like perspective where I thought like, okay, Bleach ended. I was really freaking out because I'm like, I kind of anchored my whole channel to that series. So I had a freak out moment where I'm like, shit, it's ending. And it ended fast. Like the announcement came like 6 weeks. Like, yeah, it's over in 6 weeks. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, all right, as soon as Bleach is over, like the very next week, I need to jump on the next thing. And I picked My Hero, and I love My Hero Academia, but the part of the story where I started, I think it was during that little mini arc where the students were like showing off their rooms, and and the thing is, it's it's a great series, but it's like a mix between school life and shonen like battle manga, and I just don't think it translated very well to like the fast-paced reviews I kind of do. So I tried it for a few months, and, people were watching, but my sub rate was down and everything. It just, it didn't seem like it worked. So I started doing One Piece videos, not reviews, but just discussions on, One Piece in the background while that was going on. And I really love to do those. And the My Hero reviews came more of, a chore to me, but I love talking about One Piece. So, it ended in August 2016, Bleach. So I did that for the rest of 2016. The first week of 2017, New Year, I'm thinking, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to do One Piece reviews. And I just started doing that. And I'm happy I did that because it seemed to work out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I know you obviously have a lot of variety across, you don't just do One Piece. You talk about a lot of different series.
I'm trying to do, I still do My Hero reviews actually now because the plot, the plot right now is way more high-pitched than, where we were. Holy shit, it's insane.
Oh, it's peak.
It's awesome. Season 6 of the anime is going to be oh boy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's just say the intro, one of the openings for season 5 started with that, it's all right. Everything will be all right. And I'm like, not in season 6, it fucking won't. It's just like But, so I talk about My Hero, talk about Bleach, talk about One Piece. I want to get back into gaming. I just did a Let's Play of Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, with my new little setup here and my Elgato and everything. So, yeah, I'm trying not to anchor everything to One Piece, because I know One Piece will eventually end, but it'll probably continue in, other formats because of how popular it is.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it's probably best to diversify. Just like you, Spooky. I mean, you talk about a bunch of shit on your channel. You never know what videos. It's going to be My Hero or Friday the 13th or One Piece video. Yeah.
Variety is the spice of life, and I feel like that way you're not, stuck in one place. Because I feel like a lot of people who focus on just one thing exclusively, they always end up hitting, a ceiling or a wall at some point.
I can attest to that. You will hit a wall.
Yeah, and, if, kind of like Bleach, if it just ends, especially out of nowhere like that, then, because so many people came just for that, it feels like... You just kind of, where do you go from there?
Exactly. Like, that was a freak out. And I'm like, I'm so proud of it because I was able to get to 90,000 subscribers just from talking about Bleach alone. And I'm like, man, that's a pretty. I was pretty proud of that. But
yeah.
And
nowadays it's so hard to do one thing and get that boom of growth, I feel like.
Unless it's like really, really interesting. Like, I don't know, you guys you ever hear of a YouTube channel called Vagrant Holiday?
Oh my god, I love that channel.
Oh my god, I just discovered it like last week.
I fucking love that channel. I watched all their videos in like a day.
Yeah, me too, dude. I was watching the Forbidden Island one just like 2 hours ago. I'm like, this guy is like so badass.
Yeah, that's
and
he
only has like 100,000 subscribers.
I know.
Dude, he's just like, he's the embodiment of like, I just don't give a shit, and I'm just here I am walking around.
Oh, for people who don't know what this channel is, highly recommend it. Basically, this guy is cheap as hell, and he wants to take a vacation in various places of the world, but he doesn't want to have to pay for hotels,
lodgings or anything. Yeah.
So he just like finds places where he can basically just be homeless the entire trip and spend as little money as possible, but still see all the sights, do all the things, and it's just so cool. It's so cool.
Like, and he has a video where he like hopped on a freight train. Like, I'm just gonna go freight riding today, whatever, and just hops on trains. And he has a little scanner to keep track of when people find him.
Yeah,
there's an episode today where
awesome.
There's this prison that holds like a bunch of like child molesters and stuff in Washington State, and it's like no one's allowed on the island where this prison is, and he just kayaks, like, I'm just gonna kayak to the island and explore he's walking around the island, just like walking into buildings and shit. It's like, this is highly illegal, but it's like, this dude just does not give a shit about anything.
He's so cocky the entire time. Yes, his commentary is perfect.
It's so great.
I never expected us to be talking about Vagrant Holiday right now. I thought that was just something I knew about.
That's an example, because it's an example of
awesome.
Like, it's more or less the same basic thing every time, but it's like he does it in such a unique way. It's like, it's such off the railroad. It's like, he could keep doing this forever. You keep watching him.
Yeah, like, he doesn't upload super often, but every time it's a bang.
Because it takes him time. He's got to travel. Yeah.
Because, like, I know when he went to Mexico, like, he got robbed. At Machete Point.
At Machete Point. Jesus.
Yep, so there goes his video, because they took his memory card and stuff. Like,
damn.
Man's really getting in the thick of it.
But yeah, he's a boss. Anyway, back to whatever we were talking about earlier.
I'm so happy we talked about that.
That sounds incredible.
Just brought it up. Highly recommend.
Go recommend. He only has like 100,000 or so subscribers, and I don't understand why. It's just, he needs to have more.
Absolutely. Like, everyone needs to go watch that immediately. But I guess in terms of variety, another question I had was, are there series that you would like to talk about more? And are there series that you purposely avoid talking about, even if you really want to, for different reasons?
Not so much the latter, but the former definitely. And it's more of an issue of like, all right, I'm kind of the One Piece Bleach channel. So I sort of have like, okay, if I put out a One Piece or Bleach video, it's going to get probably the most views. My Hero Academia is also kind of up there too. But if I made a video, like, I love Black Butler, which is, I don't know if you would classify that as shoujo or whatever, but I like Black Butler. It's a really good series. But I'm like, I can't, if I make a video about that, people will watch it, but it won't get that many views. So it's like, do I even bother like taking down my day to do that? Fun fact.
When my friend here and I went to a convention in Minnesota, Sea Dog VA was doing a panel basically describing like, oh yeah, this is how you can be like an anime YouTuber. And he went through his analytics, just kind of showing various stuff off. And the thing that I found most interesting was that he has a primary female audience. Like, it's primarily female. It's like 70-30, something like that.
Wow.
And the question I had was like, well, so how do you think that you got that big of a female audience compared to male? And he said, just make Black Butler videos. So there's an audience there.
That would make sense. That maybe do that, because my female, it's like 96 male, like 4% female. It's pretty disproportionate. But I mostly talk about shonen. But yeah, Black Butler, maybe that would be the case.
So, I mean, I think like there is an audience there. I just think you're undermining that one in particular a little bit.
All right, maybe I should check it out, because I do love that series, genuinely, and I wish it would get another anime adaptation soon, because it had a movie that covered one of the last arcs, and they haven't really done anything with it since then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, I tried Black Clover content. I tried to do, I did a whole series. This was something that was really fun. I did videos on all the members of Class 1A with my hero and all the 20 students, and it did really well. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the same thing with the Black Bulls in Black Clover, and it just didn't reach that same level. And I'm like, okay, well, so
really
it's just
like
it's a crapshoot sometimes, It's just like, all right, I've dedicated myself to do this series. I have to do like 15 videos on the Black Bulls, and not that many people are watching them, so I'm like,
Yeah, that's always super demotivating for most people. Is like, I really want to talk about this, but the audience just isn't there, and then you feel like, okay, well, if people don't want to see it, then I could be dedicating time to things they do want to see.
And especially to commit to doing the whole team too, or the whole guild.
You know what? You've motivated me, though. I think I'm going to try next chapter of Black Butler. I think I'm going to try to talk about it.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I did, because here's the thing. A few years ago, and they are probably still on my channel, you type in Tekking 101 Black Butler, I did like 2 or 3 reviews of Black Butler. They just didn't get a lot of hits. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's try it again, because that was like 5-6 years ago I tried that. Let's try it again. Yeah.
Yeah, and audiences changes too, because like another thing that like why I kind of brought up the My Hero thing. Just one, I wanted to make sure I was remembering that correctly, because I feel like, since I was watching you at the time, I remember you like, Bleach is ending and this is what he's doing now. I'm like, okay, I read My Hero. I'm excited for this. And then like you went a different path and I was like, okay, yeah, I understand that too. But then like My Hero ended up like blowing up soon after that at the same time.
I'm happy that it did. I just don't think it was the right time to talk about, because it was only like a chapter like 100 or so at that time.
Yeah, so that's why I think like bringing things back at a later time too, because it might just not be when things are popping. Like that's not the topic people want to see. But things always like come back when things happen, so that's what
exactly.
Black Butler.
Actually, fun fact: when I was moving a couple weeks ago, I was digging through all my old costumes and stuff I had, and I had a shirt actually made, like a superhero Superman shirt, except it had a T in the center for Tekking, and I was gonna wear that for the My Hero reviews. But I found it, and I'm like, oh, well, I never actually got a chance to wear this, but I'm like, oh, who knows? Maybe I'll wear it now because My Hero's like popping off. Who knows?
Hell yeah. So another question that I had, this is more regarding like how you go about making videos. So I would say,
damn it. What? That was my question, you little hooligan. Go ahead.
You ask it instead. You ask it instead. I'll let you have this one.
I'll ask it both. Yeah, we'll simultaneously.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. So
Tekking.
This'll work. Yeah.
You go ahead.
No, you can't give up on the bit.
So Tekking.
Hey,
yes.
I know you make a lot of various different types of videos, and so it's hard probably to describe how you make one, but can you try like your turn?
Okay. Can you please describe how you go about making a video? Your process.
Yeah, I can. So it depends on what what the video's nature is, but if you're talking like, okay, so basically the week starts on Sunday when I do the One Piece review, okay, because then the official comes out on Sunday, and so I talk about that. And so that's fairly straightforward. I just read the review, read the chapter, do the review. The rest of the week will kind of be structured based on that chapter. If the chapter was a really big chapter and had a lot of plot points through it, I literally dice that up into videos. So it's like, okay, we had a big Sanji moment in this chapter, and we also had a big Zoro moment. So I'm going to make a Sanji video on Monday and then a Zoro video on Tuesday. I've discovered that the follow-up videos they actually make sometimes even more views than the reviews themselves get. So the Sunday-Monday block the Sunday-Monday block is really like a good combo there. And then Tuesday, I'll probably talk about something else relating to the review that wasn't as important as the first thing I did. Wednesdays, I tend to take off or do fan mail streams or whatever. And then the latter half of the week, Thursday, Friday, I maybe will talk about something else. Like I'll talk about something that happened in My Hero Academia or just something else, like some other series. And Saturday is usually reserved for a live stream. I didn't do one today because I did a long one last night. And then back to Sunday again. So normally every week I'm going to be doing probably 5 videos and 1 live stream, at least, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, you are a busy man.
That's insane.
And that's not even taking into account things like D&D also.
Yeah, doing the One Piece D&D, Isekai D&D now. Or
that's right.
Twitter. That was so much fun, by the way.
I was lurking during that. Oh, man. I'm excited for where that series goes as well.
I'm pumped, yeah.
So one thing that I would say I respect the most about you, and even envy you as a creator, is your ability to like almost one take any video you try to do.
Okay, so that's not a true statement.
Well, it's not a true statement, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, so the hardest part of every video is easily the intro. Once I get on a roll and I'm talking about the actual story and I can rely on like my knowledge of One Piece and whatever, it kind of just rolls with it. I'll mess up a few times, but getting the intro, just get the flow of the video started, that's the hardest part. I've spent sometimes 20, 30 minutes just trying to get the first minute right. Because I'm not a fan of, like, I saw a lot of YouTube videos like this. I don't know how many are still like that, but I hate when YouTubers can't even get through the first, like, 10 seconds of their video. They'll be like, hi, everybody, how are you doing today? I am, like, there's, like, a jump cut every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit. So I'm like, all right, I can get through the first minute flawlessly without any cuts, and then the rest will be, if I mess up, I mess up. But... yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, like, but yeah, there's not very many I've done in one take. I know for a fact there's one, and I just remember because it doesn't happen super often. I was doing videos on all the Zanpakutos of the captains in Bleach, and it was Komamura's Zanpakuto, the Tenkin video. That one I did in a single take. And it was like 25 minutes long. And I'm like,
that's
oh,
incredible.
Man. Okay, so that's... but it happens very, very few and far between. I'm able just to turn on the camera, talk without messing up a single time, and then just edit.
So do you usually go about with, like, making, like, maybe bullet points of things that you want to talk about, like, while you're moving?
I don't script. That's a great question. I don't script anything, but I'll take out, like, a little notepad I have on my desk right here, and I'll just write down, like... typically, it's numbers or stuff, like if I have to remember a character's height or something in meters. I did a video on Kanjuro from One Piece yesterday, and his like weapon that he uses is called Tsuji Shibai, and the attack he uses is Kanzenbo, and it means this. So I'm like, I'm not gonna remember all that shit, so I just write that down as a little cheat sheet. But if I can't fit it all in like one little notebook, like little index card, it's like that's pretty much all I write down. Yeah.
That's so impressive. That's
yeah, exactly. I think that's
just,
more like what I need.
Just give me an index card and I'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I have to script all my thoughts when it comes to video making. Otherwise, like, I'll definitely improvise when I see like an opportunity to do so. But I feel like if I were to just make bullet points, I would catch myself like not knowing what to say next a lot of times. Being like, okay, maybe I should add more here.
I've tried to script a few. The only video I ever remembered, and this was like 2012, 2013, I did a Blue Exorcist video, and I tried to script the whole thing, and I couldn't get through it because not because I couldn't follow I couldn't follow the script, because I just kept going off on tangents about other stuff that I felt like just in the moment. I don't know if that's ADD or whatever, but it's just like that's, I can't do that. I can't write a script and be like, follow the script. I'm like, no, screw the script. I don't care if even I'm the one that wrote it. I'm talking about whatever I talk about.
Yeah, it's just super impressive to me. It's something that like
I
don't see a lot of creators do that, and that's why like I don't know. I would call it your superpower.
I've heard a lot of stuff like people like it because I apologize when I go off on like, and if a tangent goes really, really long, like, all right, this tangent's been going on for 5 minutes, I gotta cut that. But I get a lot of comments also that are like, I just like you just talking like freeform. It's just that's how you do it. I'm like, all right, people like it, I'll keep doing it. There you go.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about like your background and how you learned how to become such a good speaker and so knowledgeable about everything?
I don't honestly. I mean, like, I think just practice doing this over and over and again because, okay, so I'll tell you one thing, though. When I was in elementary school, I had this thing where I couldn't, like, just... if I had a thought or if I had an idea, I had to speak it out loud, like talk to myself kind of thing, like mumble to myself.
Yeah.
And, that would make me get made fun of a lot in school. It happened a lot. And my teachers were like, we have to don't do that or you won't. It was funny because, like, I'd be getting picked on and, like, the teachers would be like, okay, then just don't do that anymore. I'd be like, oh, okay, so the kids that are picking on me and, like, shoving me to the ground.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, we can't do anything. It's easier just for you to stop being weird. It's just like,
wow.
All right, whatever. So, I don't know, I'm just really good at doing that, just talking to myself and, like, verbalizing my thoughts that way. And, but then I'm very shy, very introverted. I took a public speaking course in college, but it didn't really, I'm not saying it was a great class, I loved the teacher, but it wasn't, like, what got me to this. It's just make YouTube videos after YouTube videos, and after about, a couple 100,000 of them, you eventually get to that point where it's just like, all right, your voice sounds weird on camera for a while, and it's like, then you just get used to it, and just, you get into a rhythm, and that's how it goes with that. I have a degree in communications and, like, editing, but I pretty much taught myself how to do all that stuff. Yeah.
I feel like that's usually how it goes, too. Especially like, these days with all the tutorials and everything. You can learn basically anything you would need.
when I went to college, we were using Macs, and we had to use iMovie and Final Cut, and I'm like, I hated the using. I mean, like, I guess they're okay if you know how to do them, but I'm just like, I hate this. I remember there was one project, and I went up to the teacher, and I'm like, it was like a video documentary thing we had to do, and I'm like, can I just edit this on my own computer with my own software? Because I could get this done in like 20 minutes. And she's like, no, everybody has to edit with Final Cut. I'm like,
oh my god.
That's
so
dumb.
it took me like an hour and a half because I'm like, I'm not used to this shit, and I don't know where anything is, and so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part, really, is just learning a new program. Because, like, editing programs, while fundamentally they are all the same, there's so many, like, everything's just in a different place. And you just have to learn everything. I use Premiere myself, Adobe Premiere. I have an older version, so, like, it's a little different. But if I were to upgrade to, like, the newest one now, it would be basically the same, just with more junk that I can use,
I
honestly.
use Power Director, and it's version 16. I think there is a newer version I downloaded, and it's like it's essentially the same thing. I've been using the same Photoshop software since like 2007, and that's just GIMP 2.2 or whatever the hell it is. Like it's a stupid name, but it works. GIMP 2.8. Actually, I upgraded. Actually, I used to use 2.6 or whatever. Now this is like 2.8. Wow.
Yeah, I used to use GIMP back in the day as well.
I mean,
like,
the stuff I do isn't like, I don't have to have like really crazy compositing or editing stuff. It's just because I make my videos really fast too. It's just, you know, it is what it is.
Honestly, like, the only reason that I got used to Adobe in the first place was just because, like, my brother was always trying to find things for free. And we've just had a crack on a hard drive for an older version of Premiere and Photoshop for the longest time. So anytime I upgrade computers, I'm just like, you know what? I know how it works. I know everything works.
Dude,
like, I don't want to pay for it.
When I was a senior in high school, which was over 10 years ago now, I had a teacher, and you know, I heard from somebody that, because we had like assignments to do like Microsoft Word and Excel and stuff, but I didn't have them at home. And so he's like, yeah, just talk to the teacher. He'll just give you like a cracked version of the software for free. And I went up to him, and it was like a drug deal where I was like,
awesome.
Hey, I heard in the hallway that you're giving out free versions of Microsoft Office. And he's like, this is literally what he said. He's just like, well, I don't know what to say about that, but if you just give me, you know, a flash drive and I'll hand it back to you at the end of the day, which, you know, sounds kind of messed up coming from a teacher, but I'm like, all right, here you go. You know? And no, he was awesome. He was my accounting teacher, and he was great. And he gave me back, I had my little 1 gigabyte flash drive I handed it to him, gave him back. He's like, I used that 2007 version of Microsoft Office for like 10 years. I just updated. I finally bought the software like 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
Man, I think I've just been using Google Docs ever since that
I've
became
used them
free.
before, yeah. But, you know.
So would you say on your channel, or just like well, just you as a person? I know that, like, for instance, when we had our brief conversation about Friday the 13th, there's plenty of, like, you probably have like a lot of passions that you don't bring into like YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So what would you say are some of your most prevalent ones?
Like Friday the 13th would be one. I really wouldn't want like to make a video series about that. I don't know how I would tackle it. And plus, there's like a thing where like I just watched Dead Meat, you know, the podcast, and they do the kill counts, and they not only did Friday the 13th, they just James A. Janice just redid all of them, and I'm just like, all right. I mean, there's no point in me doing it. But you did that video on Jason Goes to Hell, and I'm like, dude, you ever talking about Friday the 13th? We're gonna do Jason X or some shit. We'll talk about that next Friday the 13th or something. But yeah, Friday the 13th is definitely one. I feel like a lot of stuff I get super, like D&D. I really want to do a series on D&D. You know, Dungeons and Dragons, talking about like my favorite aspects of that game.
Yeah.
Last year I got really back into RuneScape again. I was playing that for like 2 months straight. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I should do RuneScape videos. Not really back into it now, not really playing it now, but I was like addicted. Like when like lockdown was really, not the first lockdown, but when it started getting really bad again. That's when I got into last winter. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few things, and then there's some other stuff where I'm like, I'm playing a game, and I'm like, I would rather not talk about it on YouTube. I'd rather just enjoy the game, you know, not worry. Like Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild. I played the crap out of that game, but it's like, you know what? I just want to have this as my own thing where I don't have to worry about doing commentary or talking about it. I could just turn on the game and just play it, you know? Yeah,
absolutely. Because like not everything has to be brought into, like, because I mean at this point YouTube is a job, so like you're bringing your passion, like even more of your passions into your job, and like in that way things like that can lose luster as well. Or I understand that completely. I was just more curious, like, what other things you got cooking in the background that you enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, and I love to cook, so I might. Yeah, the cooking show we talked about
Oh,
earlier. Yeah, with
absolutely.
my new kitchen. So that'll be fun when I get to that.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, I got a pre-order. I think it comes out November 19th, but you can pre-order the Sanji Cookbook Pirate Recipes on Amazon now. So there's a random an advertisement for you.
Yeah, I genuinely kind of want to get it just because I've been trying to cook more meals, like just in general, and like learn how to be a better cook. So
I'll tell you what, man. Like I didn't really follow anything. I worked at Dollar Tree for a while, and then I quit there, and I'm like, all right, I have extra time now, and I just started cooking, and I just like jumped into it. Today I just cooked some I was just hungry. I fried up some hot sausage and just onions and peppers, and made little sandwiches. And they were like, oh, that was pretty good. So
yeah,
I just got a cast iron pan.
Oh, they're great, right?
That was such a good choice.
Yeah, God, they're so
so
cool.
Happy.
I have this big book that's just the cast iron cookbook, and it tells you how to take care of it and all the shit you can make with it. I mean, it's great.
Oh, I need to get that.
You can use it as a weapon in case someone like breaks into your house. You know? It can block bullets. You know, I don't know if that last statement is confirmed. Don't use it as bulletproof vest, but yeah, I don't know.
It can block bullets. Tekking confirmed.
Wow. We are not liable for any accidents that.
Yeah, we're not liable. Tekking 101 the claims that bullets may very well not be stopped by cast iron cookware.
But we could find.
But if they are.
Okay, one more question I have right here.
Okay.
Is, do you have a video that you would say you're most proud of, or like a video series, or anything along those lines?
The Toast series, I think, was really my greatest work ever. No, okay. When it comes to a series, like I said earlier, the Class 1A My Hero discussions, those were so fucking fun because like every video I'm talking about a new character and their quirks and how unique they are, and I kept coming up with ideas on how to introduce it. So when Uraraka's is she's zero gravity, and somebody suggested in the comments when you get to Uraraka's you should do it in a spaceship. So I literally bought an astronaut helmet and I turned my garage. I put it's a shitty effect. You watch the video, it's a shitty effect, but I have a green screen in my garage and I'm doing I'm a spaceship captain, and God, it was so much fun. And then in Sero's video, because he has the tape quirk, he shoots tape out of his body. I did a parody of the flex tape dude. That's a lot of damage, and I take a giant sword and I slice a bucket in half and I tape it back together, and I'm like, oh God, that was so much fun to do. A Bakugo's video, it was the 4th of July, it was perfect how that lined up, and so I ended the video by setting off a shit ton of fireworks in my backyard, and just every one of those was so much fun to come up with an idea,
Absolutely. Are there any series that you have in the works aside from the cooking, obviously, that and besides Black Butler?
Well, I actually have a folder on my desktop that's just literally called current projects, and sometimes stuff goes in there to die, and sometimes stuff goes in there to come back later. Okay, first thing in here is the 6th One Piece movie, which I'm doing kind of a series on reviewing the One Piece movies. And we're on the 6th one right now, or I'm going to do the 6th one, which is probably the darkest out of all of them if you've ever seen it. So I want to do that. A video on all the devil fruits. I just thought I'm just going to sit down and go through every single one. So that's going to be like a 2-3 hour long video.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit! The God card video is in here, which is actually one I wanted to do with you.
Yeah.
But it's just never cohered into anything.
Yeah.
I was just too busy at the time. So I want to do the video on just the Yu-Gi-Oh! God cards. So maybe at some point we'll do that.
Hell yeah.
But then there's just some generic One Piece stuff in here. I have I did a video on all the Straw Hats, a big hour and a half video on every single one of them, and so Jinbei joined, so I got to do his still. So stuff like that is and a podcast all about soup.
What kind of soup are we talking here? I mean, just
so I just called it Welcome to Soup.
Yeah.
And I have a few thumbnails in here where I'm just chicken noodle, broccoli, minestrone, and I just sit down and talk about soup.
That's incredible.
I completely forgot about this idea, but now that I have a new setup, maybe I should try it. And also I want to do, probably the most relevant out of this is when Bleach comes back, the anime, next year in 2022. We're going to be doing a Bleach-themed podcast for, it'll be video and audio, and it'll be for the anime episodes, because I kind of already did the reviews in the typical like suit and tie format. Kind of wanted to try a different format when Bleach comes back. I think 2022 is going to be a good year for the channel because it's One Piece getting really good, My Hero getting really good, and Bleach is coming back. So I think that'll be pretty good for the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And with the addition of Black Butler and some cooking,
and we throw Black Butler in there too. Why not? Just throw it all into the pot.
All right, so I think it's a good little break here. That I got a game, okay?
All right.
For you guys to compete against each other.
Oh boy.
And so, Tekking, in our title, it says you are the human One Piece Encyclopedia.
I can read that. Yes, indeed, that's what it says.
And I'm putting it to the test, okay? So if Brandon beats you, then it's gonna be sad. Probably.
His name is Brandon. Okay, I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's a name reveal.
All right, let me check that off the box. Next up is Nux's, and we'll figure that out at some point. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, you know what? That was a really good segue. That's a really good segue because you know what? I've got a big list of names here, and I'm gonna read to you.
All right.
And I want you to tell me if they're a real or a fake character from One Piece.
Oh, okay. All right, and then we just depend on like who answers first. Okay.
Well, I was gonna have you guys alternate, but
all right. Yeah, that would probably make more sense because it'll probably be a clusterfuck otherwise. Just do it that way.
There might be delay,
especially with like Discord bandwidth and everything.
Yeah. Let's just do it that way then.
So I'll give you the choice if you want to go first or second, Tekking, since you're our guest.
Let me flip a coin. I don't have a coin. Let me flip an SD card.
Tails,
I'll go second.
All right.
All right.
First character, Brandon. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Adele. Is that a real or a false?
You know what? I'm going to say that one's real.
All right. Tekking, what do you think?
I'm going to say real.
That is a real character. Do you know who that is?
I honestly don't remember, no.
No, I don't remember, but I do remember it being in the way. It rings a bell in the One Piece story.
It's a mermaid employee at the Mermaid Cafe.
All right, so she's just one of those mermaids that Sanji was hitting on. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, next one. A hero, and that's AHIRO. So Tekking, you'll go first on this one. We'll just alternate.
I'm going to say false.
All right.
I kind of think the same thing, but I think to go for the win here, I'm going to say it's real.
Ooh, it's false.
Yeah.
There's
a character named, I think, Ahiru, but I don't think Ahiro.
I'm pretty sure that's exact. That was my exact. That's crazy. Because I think my thought process there was, that's a real character. Let me change a letter.
Yeah.
What?
So you knew the character. I based it off of.
Ahiru, I believe, is the deputy. She's that member of the Revolutionary Army that works under Bello Betty with the robotic arm. I think her name just literally translates to duck in Japanese. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I wasn't kidding when I said that title of it.
That's absolutely who it is. All right, I got some deep cuts here, so I don't know how long this will last. Hopefully the whole time though.
Okay.
All right, Blackback.
Okay, that's real? Fake. That's fake.
Is that me or is that me or Spooky?
That was me.
Oh, that's Spooky. Yeah.
My turn now. But yeah, I'm calling fake on that one.
Yes, it's a real character, but he goes by BB most of the time. Oh my. He's a mink. He's a gorilla mink.
Yep, absolutely.
He actually appeared in the last episode. He went Sulong, Spooky. Come on!
Oh, man.
That's embarrassing, man. You're sure getting dabbed on here.
I'll dab on myself right now.
Next one. It's Jim, but it's GYM.
G-Y, like gymnasium, like a gym. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to say false.
Okay.
Man, I got some ground to cover, so I'm going with real.
It's false. I made it.
See, the only thing, like, I'm not super confident here because if you're taking characters from like non-canon stuff, I'd be like, I really don't know, but like all of them. But yeah, that I don't remember any character ever being named Jim.
Yeah. Well, I know like a lot of characters get named in the data books too. That's
absolutely.
Why. Like,
yeah. Oh, that happens all the time, and it's
from.
just they're just like Viva Card data books. Like, here's the random prisoner in Impel Down. And his name literally means I need a pocket heater because he's in level 5.
Well, you guys sure got my number, because that's exactly where most of these names came from, but they are all canon. Okay. So I'll give you that answer, all right?
All right. At least that's something, okay.
Yeah, next one, Ducky Bree. And this is your go, Tekking.
Yeah, that's a real character.
Well,
I'm just going to have to believe him on this one. I'm losing too bad now.
Yeah, he answered too confidently.
So,
yeah, do you know who that is, Tekking?
I don't. I just know I've seen the name before.
Oh,
yeah.
It's one of Ace's crewmates, actually.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, there's like 20 or so of them, or 30 of them, and they were all given names in... I think when the Ace novels were coming out, and during like 20... I think it was part of the 20-year anniversary, they all got named. But that did sound familiar before, yeah.
Yeah, he was tied together with Ace at one point, but that's about it. That's the extent of it.
That's Ducky Bree's story.
Uh-huh. Now how about Chicken? Spooky, is that a real or fake character?
Just straight up chicken?
Absolutely.
God damn it. That's fake.
All right.
Oh god. I feel like it's fake too, but I have a... You know what? No, I'm gonna go fake. I'm gonna go with fake.
Okay.
All right. Well, you're both wrong for once.
Okay.
What?
All right. There it is. Yeah.
Chicken is a normal-sized, although a bit chubby woman with dark curly hair and a round face. She is a fishmonger of Fuchsia Village.
Oh. All right. So she's from Fuchsia. All right. I don't remember her.
Huh.
Yep. She's in. She's only in like the beginning of the manga. She's
and probably not named until 15 years later in a data book. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, who is this lady? Yep, that's her.
that's Chicken, of course.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh man, I gave you a point on that one, just preemptively, Tekking. So I gotta get rid of that. All right, what about Stomp? Tekking, is Stomp real or fake?
Stomp. I'm gonna say fake.
Right,
I'm gonna have to go for real then. I have to try.
All right. So Stomp is real.
Oh my god.
It's a member of the Super Spot Build Ducks who served the Kingdom of Alabasta.
One of Karu's little group. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Interesting. The only ones I know there are Karu and then Bourbon, because Bourbon literally has like a jug of bourbon around his neck. That's like the only person. That's the only duck I actually know.
There's also one named Cowboy who I thought about putting on here, but I don't know why Sanji wrote on him.
Cowboy Duck.
That's right. All right. Now, what about Cream?
It's a stand from JoJo Part 3, but like, I'm gonna say false.
All right.
I think this one is real.
Ooh, it's fake. Okay. You almost had me convinced for a second.
I don't know.
There.
Big Mom has so many.
I know Opera can turn into whipped cream. Yeah, but yeah, that was
I know her kids, but I know she has other crew members too. And there's just so many food-related things.
By the way, while we're on that subject, for a while there, I was like, should I do a video on all of them? And then you did one, and I'm like, all right, Spooky's got it. I don't know.
He's got it.
God, there's like freaking 80 of them. You can have fun with that.
I watched through because I was reading it week to week, and then once it was all out in the anime, I was like, all right, time to get back to Whole Cake and actually see what it was like. And it's like there's just so many of them. And I'm like, man, I gotta remember who the heck is who.
And the names came out in the magazines, and I'm like, yeah, just. Yeah,
there's so many. We didn't even get to see some of them. Like, Jesus.
Oh man, I should have. I didn't pick. I don't think I picked any of Big Mom's kids because I thought you guys would know them too easily. So,
I would definitely be able to get those.
Charlotte Bascart? I mean, come on, dude.
Charlotte High Fat? Like, let's go.
Charlotte Cato? Who's that? We just keep going.
What about Very Good?
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that me or Spooky?
Yeah. I think it's me this time.
I went last time, so I think I went twice in a row. Spooky, you go ahead.
No, it's Spooky's.
Okay, this one's absolutely real. This one's absolutely real.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, I know exactly who it is.
Who is he?
He's like a Marine. I don't know if he's a captain.
He's a captain.
He has like the grapefruit or whatever. The one.
He has the berry.
The berry. Yes.
Yeah.
He just turns into a bunch of like balls and just.
He's Buggy's fruit except balls.
Yep.
That's all it is. Yeah. Although I don't know if his name is. I don't know if it's Barry. No, it's not Very Good. It's just Very Good because Oda likes puns. Yeah.
I remember him.
Okay, you know what? It says Very Good on the list of canon characters, but then you click on the wiki page, and it says very good.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
You know what to do, yeah.
I think
Give
I get
him,
a
like, an
negative
extra
point for that one.
Nah, it's fine. It's Oda messing up a character's name and retconning it? That's never happened before. You know who the worst of that is? Is the official data books for Hunter x Hunter. Tagashi,
Oh, no.
the way he spells Crollo
Yeah.
Lucifer's name
Yep.
is like with a Q and like, oh god, it's horrible. And like, that is not the official translation. I don't care. It's not, you know?
He's kind of the king of retconning, though.
Oh god, yes.
Him and Araki, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky, but Rocky kind of gets a pass just because of the way that JoJo's is structured and shit.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
It's intended to be retconned. But all right, what about stock? This is back to you, Tekking. Is stock real?
Stock, like Stock.
O-C-K, yeah.
I'm gonna say false.
All right, spooky.
I'm in too deep. I gotta go real.
I was gonna say, if you get this right, you still have a chance. If Tekking gets all the rest of them wrong to tie.
That's why I'm going for it.
Well, you're wrong. It's fake. I made it up.
Thanks.
All right. Now here, I mean, you can still redeem yourself a little bit. What about Long John Jones? That's a spooky starter, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, I know there's Long John Magnum, the previous user of the Gomu Gomu no Mi.
Of course, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy,
He's not named after a condom, so I have no idea.
yeah, I'm gonna go with fake on this one.
I gotta say that's fake as well, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
There's a Captain John, but I don't think he wore long johns.
I didn't even see Long John Magnum. I looked that one up.
That's well, it's on the wiki, but not the one. You have to check the One Piece D&D wiki, and you'll find him.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, he was a real character.
What about Miss Father's Day?
Yeah, that's a real character.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree on that.
Okay, what who is she?
I mean,
She was the companion, the partner of Mr. Seven, and she wore a frog outfit with a frog gun for some stupid reason, even though she's Father's Day and she's a frog. I didn't get the reference there, but all right, that's what she did.
My God.
She was one of the people that were to guard the bomb before Pell took it off and survived a ground zero nuclear blast. So, you know, that's her place in the story.
That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right, what about Keith?
Just Keith?
Just Keith. Yep.
Well, I mean, that's a name you would absolutely make up. So that's my first intention, but I'm gonna say it's real.
Okay.
You know what? I'm actually going to say it's real, too.
It is real.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of you know who he is?
Nah.
Absolutely not.
Oh, he's one of Blackback's friends.
Oh, so he's a mink. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
absolutely.
I didn't know there was
Monkey
so
mink.
there's just a mink named Keith. I'm like,
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
cool. All right, we got Inuarashi, Nekamamushi, Rhodey, BB, Wanda, Carrot,
Keith.
Keith. There's Keith.
He's willing to fight to the death against Jack, though, so...
Damn straight, Keith. You don't fuck with Keith. What kind of mink is he?
I'm just a monkey mink.
He's a monkey mink. All right, I didn't know that. Interesting.
All right, and last but not least, you absolutely don't have a chance to win, Brandon.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
you can
What if
look-
I get the question so wrong it gives him like 4 points? Like if I name like a Naruto character instead or
Well,
something.
you're not naming a character, so that would really cause some problems. All right, this character's name is Run. Spooky.
Run. Just
Run.
straight up run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with real.
I'm gonna say false.
Ooh, it is real. It is
really?
real.
God.
Uh-huh. He's a henchman for Caesar, and he's a spider centaur.
Oh, hell
he's
yeah! I think I
he's
know
in
the one
that-
you're talking about.
He's in that group, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
notice those guys really at the start when I first read it, but the English dub of those came out not too long ago, and I remember noticing a lot more of the centaurs this time around. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really stupid names that are just like normal person names.
Well, also you got to understand that like Oda probably didn't have names for them, and then he's like, name these characters, and he's just like, all right, Run, Keith, this one's, whatever. I don't care. Like like Oda has other shit to do than like come up with really intricate names for these characters.
Mm-hmm. So, Evan, what's the final score?
What's the final score?
What's it looking like?
I mean, you made it respectable at the end. At one point, it was, you never got worse than 5 points away.
Okay.
And so the end score is 8-12. So Tekking dominating.
Oh,
I would
cool.
say still.
Well, I got a few wrong. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Did you get? You got 2 wrong. 2. That's all.
Nah, that's not all right. See, the thing is with One Piece usually is quotes. Like if people try to do like who said this quote, I will probably fuck that up.
Yeah, I could never.
But when it comes to just like with character names, I don't know a lot of background characters and stuff. But like, yeah.
I mean, shoot, that's what I was trying to go for. But you knew. I mean, you knew most of them.
Well, thanks.
12 out of 14. That's an A+ in my book.
Sure, that's an A.
What's my grade? Huh?
What's your grade?
Like a D?
I don't know. How do you do? Oh God, I suck at math. How do you do percentages? All right,
you got 75%. No.
Oh, so like
kidding.
a C.
Nope, I lied. That would have been 8 out of 12, and I had 14.
All right. So
like
okay, so it was 14 questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of 100, if he got 8 right, then that would be 57%.
I fucking failed.
in my high school, that 60 you had to pass. So there's a fail.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I do suck at math. So I probably did that calculation wrong. So don't take my
your best.
To be fair, I did try to like pull ahead with a lot of them by going the opposite. Like that was just a strategy. I wouldn't recommend it, but
yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where you learn to always copy off the person next to you.
Yep, worked for me in that computer class I took that one time.
Oh, I don't know. It takes me back to like when I was in like a Photoshop class at the college I went to for a little bit. Like, I already knew what we were doing because like I was already familiar with Photoshop, so I just like played Town of Salem the entire time. Good times. I paid for that.
We had a class. Yeah, you paid for it.
I paid to play Town of Salem.
We had a class in high school where it was like a Computer 1 course. We were learning how to code and just like basic, but I didn't understand any. I understood it for like 2 classes and then I lost it. But the kid in front of me was like a wizard with it, and our desks were all diagonal, so I could sit at my monitor and literally, I don't have to crane my neck because I could just like look in my peripheral vision behind my monitor and I could see his monitor. So I'm like, all right, so I'm just like back there basically copying his program and just changing it a little bit. Like that's all I'm doing, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Tekking, I have a question for you. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Have you heard of fishing cod?
Yeah. So what that is...
a little bit, please?
No, there's an origin for that. So what that is I used to work at Dollar Tree for 7 years. And one night, I don't know what was the impetus for it. I think it was Christmas Eve, and I usually tell like this. I just wanted to tell like a bullshit story on my channel for Christmas Eve. So I came up with this story of like, I don't know, I'm at the store and there's a gate to hell in the back room, and it opens up and demons come out, and me and all my coworkers have to go down in the basement and kill all these demons and shit. Because I was bored and I told this story. Somebody, I think his name is Michael, Miko Leaf, drew a whole like. I think he's up to 4 chapters of this comic, of just based off the story I told, and he did a phenomenal job with it. Yeah. It was actually incredible. And I think the reason it's called Fishing Kadu is because through katakana, hiragana translations, like Dollar Tree would be like the literal translation would be pronounced like Fishing Kado in Japanese. So that's what he did. And the artwork is incredible, and it's me and my friend Casey and my other friend Todd and this character Jeremy, which Jeremy is like, I've used him in a few of my D&D campaigns where he's just the kid that just gets completely just killed by life. Like, he's always like the guy that falls into the pit and gets horribly mangled. Like, it's just, they're always named Jeremy. So I don't know why I don't have anything against people named Jeremy. Blue, is your name Jeremy? I apologize if your name is Jeremy. Okay.
You're good.
But yeah,
You're good.
it's just like, fuck Jeremy, man. So yeah, that's the premise. Yep.
That's unbelievable. Because it looks legitimately professional.
I've done reviews of each one of those chapters. It blows my mind whenever I'll do like some stupid video and talk about like whatever, and then people actually like put super real good effort into like making it. There was somebody that even drew a comic of like me and Barry like fighting aliens, and that wasn't even that long ago. And it was insane. I'm just like, what the hell?
So I put in the title that we're going to be talking bricks, and I know you've told this many times before, but
yeah, we got Barry back here.
Could you give him the origin story for Barry?
Do you want the fake origin story that he was forged in like the bowels of hell by Satan like 10 million years ago? Do you want me like the real origin story or whatever?
I mean, you can
surprise
surprise.
The real origin story is my neighbor. Okay, so let me think how this started. Okay, chronologically how this would have worked. Okay, so it's like probably like 2012, 2013. I'm in my old house, my mom's house, and I'm in the basement cleaning up, and there was like this old shelf thing in the basement. It was like this metal cabinet, and it wasn't like straight. Like one of the legs fell down, and I'm like, man, I need something to like wedge underneath this thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, brick would work. So we didn't have any bricks around, so my next door neighbor across the street, their house was empty. It was vacant for like a year because no one just ever bought it. There was a big pile of bricks just hanging out on the porch. So I'm like, all right. So I just literally walked across the street, grabbed a brick, walked back. No one saw me. No one cared. I'm just like, I just wedged it under this cabinet. And then I used it as a prop in my Bleach videos for a while. Like, I called it the suicide brick, which is kind of a really dark joke now that, you know. So I don't really like to tell that joke anymore because it's pretty fun. I'll tell you what, suicide jokes are funny up until you actually meet somebody that has struggled with it, and then it becomes not funny for the rest of your life. And
Absolutely.
so I know personally somebody that it happened with, and I was like, oh God, I can't believe I made that into a fucking running gag on the Bleach channel. That was, oh God, I'm never doing that again. But one day, I'm down there in the studio, and I'm trying to think of an intro for my One Piece videos, and I found the brick was still down there, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just put some googly eyes and a funny mouth on this brick, call him Barry the Brick, something I just came up with off the top of my head, and everyone was like, keep Barry, keep him on there, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. So now, it's been 2 years now, he's been on the channel, and we have plushies that I've sold like 1,000 of those damn things.
I got one behind
you
me.
Got one.
That's
I got one
badass.
back here behind me. There'll probably be like, I don't know, another version next year or something. Barry body pillows might be made at some point. I do not know. But they really took off like crazy. Everybody loves him. There is a lady named Maggie in New Zealand who's a fan, and she's the one that tailors all of Barry's clothing. So I have sweaters and a little suit and tie for him that she personally tailors, and it's just every now and then I back up and I'm just like, he's a fucking brick. And people are making outfits. I mean, I love just the reception he's received, but yeah, it's just one of those things where you put googly eyes and a mouth and some wings on the back of Barry. I have a little straw hat for him and a little tailored suit, and people just love him. So I'm like, all right. I got myself every channel needs a mascot. Yep.
That's true. But have you ever been like just walking around since then and like just seen like a cinder block or something and thought to yourself, man, I could just steal this thing real quick and then we'd have Cindy the cinder block?
Okay, so I actually a fan. I could do you one better. A fan sent me one.
Oh.
Yes!
An actual cinder block?
Yes, and I actually left it at my old house because when we were moving all the shit on the truck, my dad and my mom and like my mom's boyfriend were all there helping me move, and this cinder block was in my studio, and it's like, do you want to take that with you? And I'm like, yeah, but not today. It's like a cinder. I don't like a cinder block around today, so I still have to go pick it up. But yeah, I got this thing in the mail once, and it weighed a ton, and I literally took this box, and I'm like, is this like literally like, it was heavy. I'm like, is there a fucking cinder block in this thing? And I get home and sure enough, it was a cinder block with big googly eyes and like little string, like craft string for hair. And it was like, this is Barry's girlfriend or this is Barry's sister. I forget which version. but it costs like $65-$70 to ship that thing. Just the shipping costs alone.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And I'm like, man, someone really went overboard on that. But I'm like, I still appreciate. I have to pick her up because she's still at the house. It's a literal cinder block. Like carrying it around, it's like fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, because like I know shipping is mostly like the prices are mostly based on like how heavy it is rather than
yeah,
how big.
and I can't imagine it was from the U.S. It wasn't like even on the other. I think it was like Illinois or something. But like, and I live in Pennsylvania, but I can't imagine if that person lived in like Australia, how much that would have cost to ship that. I don't know. So
much.
Yeah.
That would have been a rent payment.
Yeah.
To ship.
Literally.
That's insane.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
So Tekking, I got a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. How does it feel to be one of the main characters in the One Piece Anitube fan fiction?
Oh, wait, is that the thing with Nux?
Is that what?
Is that the thing with Nux that he did?
I don't know that he did it.
He's part of it. Oh, okay.
He's in it as well. So spooky.
Because there's been a few fan fictions that have been created, and I'm not super familiar with. I might have read this one. I'm not sure.
You have a 600 million berry bounty, and no devil fruit. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. I'll take it. Yeah, it's higher than Luffy's at one point. Well, not anymore, but it was at one point. It's almost Sabo's. Like Sabo's is like 602. I'm like Sabo. Cool. I'll take it. Yeah.
Now, Spooky, do you think you have a bigger berry or a smaller berry bounty?
I'm gonna guess smaller.
Yeah? What do you think your bounty would be?
I'm hoping for the meme that it's something like Choppers, so I'm gonna go with like 2 berries.
69.
It's 500 million.
That's pretty good.
That's
You're
pretty
up
good,
there.
actually.
Yeah,
wow,
you got
I was not expecting that.
You got the CC no me. What do you think that does?
This like CC as in SEE?
SEA. Like the C.
The C.
Yeah.
Is
that
like a water devil fruit? Like
no.
Like the C. I got no clue then. You're gonna have to help me out.
I gotta tell you though, for Verona, that's higher than his bounty. His is only 100 million.
I know, right?
So, yeah.
This man's gotta sink some more ships or something.
It turns you into a sea stone man.
Oh,
so it's kind of cheap, I feel like, but that's what it does.
That's broken.
That's
like anti-magic and Black Clover.
Which, by the way, that reminds me, I gotta talk to you about something, but I can't do it on air. So after we're done with this, I want to mention something involving the D&D.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the One Piece Anitube fan.
I have to check that one out. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to give us some links.
It's pretty heavy, pretty big. I haven't read it all. In fact, I've not read very much of it. But I did see your names in it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So many crazy things have just been created over the years, involving like anime YouTube and everything like that. There was one that was just like a big whenever Reverie comes along, it's always like a big like mural or something that involves all of us, and that's just really fun to see what people come up with. Yeah.
The art they come out of that is always so cool.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a very like off-topic question, just relating to anime and manga in general.
Okay.
So, what would you say is the single worst anime or manga that you've read or watched to completion?
Ooh, to completion. That's a hard one because usually if there's something that doesn't really catch my attention or I don't usually watch it all the way through. I like a Dot Hack. I'm not a huge fan of the Dot Hat series. I don't remember which one I watched, but I couldn't get like more than 2 episodes in. I would probably say the anime adaptation of Gantz. Because that one got wrecked.
Yeah.
Gantz. I'm a really big. I mean, it's a messed up manga. It's a seinen and the shit that happens. But like the artwork is cool. The premise is interesting. And so I'm watching the anime and just like. The voice acting's not that great in the English dub of that. I've actually never seen it in the Japanese just by itself. But it's one of those anime that it follows the manga up to like 3 story arcs, and then like, okay, anime has to end now, manga's still going on, so you know what that means, anime only ending. And the anime only ending they did was one of the stupidest. Like, they basically took everything cool about like what made the series make sense, and they're just like, let's just throw it out of the, let's just throw it out of the gate and just do whatever the hell we want. And it's like, okay, why not, right? HBI 2K did a bridge series of it, and he did like the finale, and it's just so funny. Like, there's just one scene where a bunch of characters, they go into an office building, and there's just a shit ton of AK-47s and rocket launchers in the building. And it's like, where did you get those? He's just like, we just found them. And it's like, yeah, because it's like found. You go into an office building, just have a rocket launcher. And the ending is just so stupid. It rips off Cowboy Bebop, I think, and it's bad. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I just had to know. I had to know.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But yeah, honestly, if I'm watching any show or movie or anything, if I'm not hooked within the first like couple episodes, I'm just gonna stop watching it. Yeah.
Oh, see, I have like
I'd say
completion mentality. I don't know.
Yeah, mine's Black Clover. It's.
I don't watch the anime anymore. I read the manga weekly.
I read it too. I'm just underwhelmed, and like it's still fine, but that's all it is.
Black Clover, the anime, you can confirm this if you still watch it, but it seems to have the same issue. Well, when I was watching it, it started to have the same issue Naruto did, where it's like you'll have 2 canon episodes, 3 filler episodes, canon filler, just kind of zigzagging back and forth. And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm okay with filler arcs. I like the way that Bleach did it, where it's like, okay, here's canon, here's a 30-episode filler, but it's all together in one story, and then we're going to have 40 canon and then 20 filler. It's like, okay, don't zigzag. Naruto Shippuden did that so bad. All the time. Yeah.
When I was watching that, like, keeping up with the filler list, it's like I'd accidentally, like, forget, like, oh, yeah, the next episode's going to be filler, and I click on it and be like, oh, wait, we're going back to, like, part 1 in this flashback?
This
what?
makes no sense.
No, it would be like, here's Naruto fighting, here's Sasuke fighting Itachi or whatever, and then it's like, all right, now we're going to have 2 episodes where we go back to before the Chunin exam arc. I'm like, why, though? And then get back to the present, I'm like, this is stupid. You need a guide. You need a guide next to you, like a little chart to be like, episode 342. Okay, episode 343.
Yep.
Skip 344. Okay, 345.
And then it's like half an episode. There's some that are half an
sometimes
episode
they'll do that too. Sometimes they'll do that too. Yeah.
Those are so rough for me, because it's like, when you're going through the filler list, it'd be like, oh yeah, this is partially canon. And it's like, okay, what does that mean? And then you find out it's like maybe the first 5 minutes or like the last 5 minutes of canon.
Yeah, it's what it is. Like, okay, I'll tell you, I know a way they did it in Naruto when the last arc kicked off and all the zombies came back, right? So you'd have an episode where it's like, okay, this is the episode where Sasori comes back and fights Kankuro. Well, since Sasori's back, no one's going to remember him. We got to dedicate 15 minutes of this episode just flashbacking to what Sasori did back at the beginning of Shippuden, and then the other 15 minutes is actually canon shit. So that's what that was all about, yeah. Just like, read the damn books, okay?
So stupid.
Yeah, I feel like that's why in general I gravitate way more to manga these days, just because
absolutely.
You're getting all the substance you need. The art is usually fantastic, and like I'm just a fast reader, so I can get through.
I can get through manga. I mean, it depends on the manga. I could breeze through a Bleach volume, no problem. I got some new ones the other day. Dr. Stone came out. That one usually takes a little bit longer to read, and Black Butler, but those are long ones, yeah. And then Hunter x Hunter, we're just like, it's a light novel.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, even like one of the last My Hero chapters kind of gave me some Hunter x Hunter vibes.
Oh, there was.
Like,
you thought that too, right? There were pages where it was just black or white in the background and just text. I'm like,
explaining her powers and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that because
I do too.
No spoilers, but like the character whose quirk was revealed, it's like, okay, this does require like a Tagashi.
Oh yeah,
because this is like a nen or like a stand ability more than a quirk. You know?
Yeah. Because those I actually like getting more substance. Like
I do
too.
The dialogue like that. So I don't know. Whenever people just try and complain like, oh, just like read an actual book at this point.
I can understand the complaints, but me personally, I love it when it's like, because it gives it more believability and more world building to me when you spend like, no, if magic powers like Nen existed, you know it would be very complicated. You would have to take into account all these different things, and like, yeah, it wouldn't be that simple, you know.
Yeah, and like it's also cool like figuring out how some characters think too, because they have to think through the entire thing. Like, okay, so if it works like this, then maybe I should do this instead of this, or if it does this instead of that, I should do this.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay,
yep, exactly.
Lay it all out, because then now I'm thinking about it, and
now you're starting to think too. Like if you had an ability that allowed you to like negate other abilities, but under certain conditions, you wouldn't just like run into using it. You would be sitting there like thinking, like
pondering,
constantly, like
yeah,
how do I make this work?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Evan, do you have any other questions you want to get to here, or can I?
I got a couple, and then
you go right ahead.
Topic.
When you're done here, I'll whip out this last game I got. So
go for it, man.
Yeah. So we touched on Black Butler as being something that you have covered, but not extensively. But what are some of the other like forms of media that you enjoy that you've not touched on your YouTube channel? Like,
let's
just
see.
Some other things you enjoy outside of YouTube.
Forms of media. I don't talk about movie. Well, aside from anime movies, like I just did a review of the new My Hero one, which I wasn't a huge fan of it. But I talked about that. Just movies in general that I see. I might, not very well talk about that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think other mediums.
Yeah, and like, what are
books,
some of the what are some of the like? I worded that question poorly because I was trying to get at were like the specific titles.
Yeah. As
well, so like.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like fantasy novels, and so I would like to maybe talk about that sometimes. I'm a big fan of the King Killer Chronicles, and so it's The Name of the Wind and the Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I hear The Wheel of Time is really good. I got to read that. I haven't read that yet. I have read Lord of the Rings, so maybe talk about books. That'd be neat.
Yeah, and then what are some other like anime and games and stuff like that you play but you don't talk about?
Oh, anime and games. Let's see. Well, when it comes to anime, typically whenever I do watch a new anime or something anime related, I will like at least bring it up in the videos at some point. Not an anime, but I did watch Squid Game a couple weeks ago, and I really loved that. That was I'm so happy because so many times something will be hype and everyone will talk about it, and I won't get around to watching it until like 6 months later. I actually caught the Squid Game train while everyone was watching it. Love that series. Let's see. I'm rewatching. Well, I'm not rewatching. I'm watching it for the first time. Is Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, no. Fuck yeah! Oh, I just watched all of that this year. I just finished the spinoff Angel.
Oh my god, I have to watch Angel too. I just finished season 2 the other day, and the ending with Angel and Buffy actually got me legitimately emotional the next day.
Know.
I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know they were gonna do that. Because I knew Angel gets his own show, so I'm like, he gets his own show. She's obviously he's gonna get his soul back, and they're gonna be happy. She just fucking stabs him and sends him to hell. Like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. Fuck.
Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing.
I watched like the first season when I was in college, and I was down in North Carolina a couple months ago, it was in August, and there was a store down there called McKay's, and there's only like 5 of them, and they only exist in North Carolina and Tennessee, but it's like a really well-organized used video game and bookstore, and it's so organized. They have an anime section, manga section, organized by alphabetically, down the line, and everything's pretty damn cheap. So I picked up a bunch of like games there, and I bought like every season of Buffy for like $2 each. And I'm like, all right, when I get my new place, I'm gonna get my new TV. I'm gonna sit down and watch this show, and I've always meant to watch it. Supernatural too. I'm gonna watch that after. Yeah.
Okay, then anytime, just for future reference, before we start D&D, if we're both there early, I'm going to ask you your progress. We're going to see where you're at.
See where we're at. I just watched the first episode of Season 3 last night, so I'm going to watch maybe... I have like a little nightly ritual that I've been doing. So it's going to take a while to get to the end, and I hear Season 7 sucks. But it sucks, but... And then I got to watch Angel, which I've heard some people say Angel's even better than Buffy in some respects.
So I really like Season 2 and 3 of Angel. But Season 4 has to have the worst writing of anything I've ever seen.
God.
It's so bad that it's great, but it is frustrating. And like...
go ahead.
And Season 5, I also just finished, which is the last one. And my god, like...
Is it even worse?
Yeah, like the last podcast we did, I think I ranted about Angel Season 4 for like 25 minutes. Just not.
I mean,
and that wasn't even everything I could say.
I'll tell you what, one thing is just watching Season 2, which came out in like 1997, I'm like, this is actually pretty good. Like, it actually stayed the test of time of Buffy. There's even, I remember one episode where Buffy says like vibing as a word.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! She fucking like that was like 20 years ago. She's like coining the phrase. But I'm like, another thing is when shows come out now and they only last like 2 or 3 seasons and then they get not canceled but finished. You know, I used to be like disappointed when that happened. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm like, why do they only do 3 seasons of it? That sucks. But now it's like, you know what? Honestly, that might be a good idea. Because it's like, all right, you did 2 or 3 seasons. If you're going to stop after that, if that's all you think you've got that is good, you know what? I'd rather take 3 seasons and that than 6 seasons, but the last 3 suck ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, like, I love the Owl House. And that show, I think the next season's the last season. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Because after that's over, it'll be what it is. It'll just be good, you know?
Yeah. After, like, Dexter.
Yep. Dexter is
I never watched Dexter. That's another show.
Yo, tomorrow, actually, Dexter comes back! Oh, my God!
I don't know what they're gonna
is
do.
it getting, like, rebooted or just an extra season? Or what?
I think like an extra season.
It's a sequel season, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure
Oh, my God.
sequel
All right.
series.
How many seasons of the show exist?
There's, like
8?
7? No.
8. I think
Oh,
8.
you're right,
Something
you're right.
like that.
Oh, God. That's a lot of seasons.
And, like, 2 of them are really bad, so...
Yeah, the first 4 seasons are literal peak television.
Awesome.
They're
Like,
incredible.
so good.
The 5th season also really good, but after that, like,
I'll tell you what, a show that is somehow magic is, they're 2 series together, and it's Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Every season of those shows, I don't think there's a week. I mean, there's probably some seasons that are stronger than others, but I've never thought like, oh, that was a shitty season of Better Call Saul. That was a shitty season of Breaking Bad. Vince Gilligan, I guess, just has like a sixth sense with that shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
because there's now 5 of Breaking Bad, 5 of Better Call Saul, and the 6th season, last season's coming out next year. But like, it's 10 seasons, and all of them are pretty damn solid. So,
yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm up to right now.
I'm so glad that you're up to Buffy. This
I'm watching Buffy.
That's
makes me so
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, I also kind of want to talk about the latest One Piece chapter.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Let's do it.
And pick your brain on that a little bit, Tekking. So this will be chapter 1031, right? That's
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 1031, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people got mad about this one.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Well,
I saw.
It was all right. I saw a lot of people. I think a lot of people were pissed because Kinemon survived, and a lot of people were like, and a lot of people were like, you know, death has no consequence and that kind of stuff. And like, look, that is a problem with One Piece. Oda really does not like to kill people.
Yeah.
But I've been reading this for so long. That's par for the course for me at this point. So I can understand why people were upset. But like me personally, I never thought Kanjuro was dead. I never thought Kinemon was really dead. Like, it's just like, that's not how Oda does things. And maybe it is a fault with his writing, but you got to expect it at this point. So it's like, yeah, they're going to probably, still be alive.
Yeah. I would say with Kinemon in particular, like, the excuse that they gave to why he's still alive, you know, it makes sense.
I thought the excuse made sense. Yeah. I did. And with Law's ability. And I'm like, all right, sure. And it's just like, Kanjuro, though, I'm like, dude, you cut him down like 3 times. I'm like, how many times can you cut him down before you just lop his fucking head off? Like, come on. Well, they did that with Orochi, and he's still kicking. So it's like, you never know.
Yeah, and then like even going all the way back to like Alabasta with Pell. And,
The
like,
Pell
like,
thing.
That's a nuke, man.
Which I've heard 2 different explanations on why Pell survived. The first explanation I heard was Oda just did not want to end the story arc on a sad note, and so that's why he brought him back. And the second is because 9/11 just happened around then, so he wanted to lessen the impact there. Both of those, if I was going to pick, I would say the first one makes more sense from what I know about Oda's writing. It's just like, I don't want Pell to die because then people will be sad, and it's supposed to be a happy time because they won. And it's just like, all right, but, you know, people can still die. And Pell, let's be honest, nobody gives a shit about Pell. He's like died, you know, like nobody said like Pell. Someone's sitting there like with a little falcon and little pennant, like Team Pell, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's good. I wonder how many votes he got in the latest.
Oh yeah, the One Piece 100 poll. I should look that up. But what did you guys feel about the chapter?
See, Sanji's my favorite Straw Hat, so any chapter where he gets a moment, I just love. I'm just all in on.
I think after this chapter, I sat down and really thought about it. I'm like, man, I like Sanji way more than I thought I did.
Oh, you're talking about chapter 1000. Oh, the one that's not out in the official yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I do read the spoilers and the translations, but I don't do the review until Sunday.
Yeah.
We can still talk about it. I don't care. I mean, anybody that's wants to avoid spoilers can leave. But like, yeah, I have read it. With that one, yeah, I would say that the Sanji thing is going to be very integral here in what's going on with his emotion. I don't think he actually struck the woman. I don't.
No way.
I think it's going to be
way.
something else. I think it's just it's messing with his brain a little bit. He's just distracted, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then his call to Zoro too. Like that was unbelievable.
That was pretty boss. He's just like, look, I have to beat Queen, but after this is over, you know, if I'm weird or if I'm acting strange, just cut me down, dude.
Yeah, like if I'm not me. Because if I'm not me, I don't want to be here.
He just really had a lot of, like, character moments. Just really in his own head.
And a lot of people, like, I remember even this goes back to Black Maria, because everyone was kind of, not everybody, but there was a big split there for a while, like, you know, oh, Sanji can't fight Black Maria, so, you know, what's the point of him even being there? He's useless, he's just going to get captured. And it's like, dude, that's Sanji's character, right?
That's
he was
the
like
point.
raised.
Yeah,
he was raised like that. Yeah. That's why this is such a big deal that he feels like he struck a woman to the point where he's willing to die if he actually did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes back to his family dynamic too. Like I didn't expect it to go back there.
Yeah, even though that was the last arc, you know, it's like like a lot of stuff from Totland has spilled over to this, like literally with like Big Mom, but like figuratively with Sanji and stuff, and the Germa, yeah.
I don't know. Overall, I'm very excited for where Wano's been going, and even more than that, just because like I don't know, I usually have the brain of a goldfish. I'm just excited for once we get to the point where like Wano is like almost over, so I can go back and like reread it in a concise manner and really take everything in again. Because week to week or like break weeks even, it's just a lot for me to retain.
Yeah, and it's the longest arc in One Piece so far. We're on 131, so about 1,000 chapters, 130 chapters, something like that.
Wow, I didn't realize we passed longest arc. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it started in 909, and it's 1,030, and Dressrosa was the longest before that. I think Dressrosa had like an even 100, so we're like 1,020 right, 120 right now.
This is like a whole JoJo part.
Yeah, no, it's kind of getting there, yeah.
But I don't know, Wano's been really one of my favorite arcs for sure, and especially where it's going recently.
Yeah, I think it has potential to be one of my favorites at the end. Like, I always want to give it a chance after because, I ended up liking Whole Cake a lot more than I remember when I finally, like, watched it in the anime just so I could, like, get the whole thing. So I feel like it's going to be the same kind of thing with Wano. But, like, right now I'm trying to be, like, indifferent about it, but I don't know. There's a lot of things to love.
Yeah. And then, Big Mom bringing back her soul powers, like, it's just... You just get to see so many different characters shine in this arc.
Yeah, I still think my biggest complaint is that they cut away so much from a lot of like the fights that are happening, but I know they kind of have to.
It's just that, you know, it's a problem because all these fights are supposed to go on at the same time, and Oda doesn't want to be like, all right, let's focus on this for 5 chapters and then this for 5 chapters. So he's trying to give an idea of like all this stuff is happening at the same time. Marineford was kind of a cluster like that as well. But yeah.
Yeah, and so is Dressrosa to an extent, at least anime-wise.
Yeah, it was.
Just lots of, like, just pausing and cutting away and stuff. And so I don't know how... I like to think that the anime will handle the pacing a little bit differently, just through that medium of being able to be animated, but...
I'm hoping they'll kind of extend things. Like,
where
they'll show more of what's going on the sidelines that you don't get to see in the manga. I feel like that way they get more episodes, the studio's happy, we're happy because we get to see what actually happens a lot of the time.
Exactly. So that's what the anime's for a lot of times. They'll expand on stuff, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just do it too much.
Or they'll just add more fan service.
Yeah.
Like that episode, there was the episode a couple of chapters ago where the raid is beginning and they're getting in the tank and there's just like Usopp's in the tank with Nami, Carrot, and Shinobu, and it's just like the anime's like, yeah, boobs. It's like, okay, there it is. It's like, yeah, I knew they were gonna do something with that. Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Well, alrighty.
All right, then.
Are we ready for this game?
We're moving on to the next game. All right, let's do it.
This is the final game, and then we're gonna do our goodbyes, and we're out of here.
All right.
So this is the famous hit returning game, The Art Activity. So basically, kind of similar to what Evan did, I went through like the list of various One Piece characters that exist in the canon. Okay. And I drew 5 of them. And based on my really great art that is not terrible at all, you two are actually going to work together to tell me who these characters are.
That's awesome.
So basically, This is where you'll need the stream, so then you can see like.
Yeah, I have it pulled up. Yep.
Hell
me
yeah.
too. Ready to rock and roll.
All right. So, any questions before we get started?
No, this is great though. A couple weeks ago, I actually drew Zorro for like because I don't draw, I don't do anything, and it turned out shit. But you know, this all connects back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a great artist, but I did my best, and I hope some of these characters will be recognizable. And
all right.
I would say for the most part, I went with a couple deep cuts, but I don't think it'll be anybody that's like extremely forgettable, except for maybe one of them. But I'm gonna start off easy. This one's gonna be probably your best chance, and you have There's 5 of them total, so you can get 5 points.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you guys can get 3 of these, I'll be impressed. Let's put it that way. But
I expect to get all of them. Working together with Tekking, I think.
Oh,
I think you and I are going to be a good Cracker Jack team.
This.
I think
That's
you and I will take care of this. Yeah.
That's like Batman and Robin.
Well, the first image is on stream now.
All right, well, give me a second for the lag to catch up. Yep.
Easy.
Oh, this is an easy one. Yeah. Do you know it?
Yeah, I'll give you the thunder though. I'll give you the shine here.
All right, let's go with Mayor Whoop Slap from Dusha Village. Not Wood Slap, Whoop Slap. Whoop Slap.
That's him.
Yep.
Who, because of a bunch of YouTubers, Grand Line Review, and I think a few others, he actually did make it in the top 50
he
characters.
Sure did.
He was number 37.
Number 37. Yeah.
Whoop Slap.
What a beast.
There's the comparison. Like
it's perfect. You got the color of his hat right. There you go. You're good. Yeah.
Oh
yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Photoshop hacked. All right. Hacked Photoshop. I know how to color. But now we have number 2.
All right. Well, geez, yeah, you're just giving us gimmies here.
Oh yeah.
I know that one.
Okay, I'm gonna try to guess the arc. I think this is from
I know exactly. Oh shit! I don't know. I don't know the name, but I know.
Is this from
I know. I got it.
Is this from the zombie arc?
No.
Okay, then yeah, Tekking, you got it.
It's from the Totland arc. That's Nitro the Jelly.
It is Nitro the Jelly.
Way.
I did keep the cigar out to
Pudding has 2 homie companions. One is a flying carpet named Arabian, and the other one is this dude.
Okay.
And his name is Nitro the Jelly. Yeah, he doesn't really do much, but he's there.
Yeah, I kept out the cigar to try and swindle you, but
because I would immediately have known if he had the cigar. I actually didn't even know he smoked. I actually didn't know that, so yeah.
Okay, this one might be a little harder. I wouldn't expect you to know the name of this person, but
I think that might be the first time I've seen someone in our chat get one of them right. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's impressive.
Oh, this is an easy one, dude. Come on.
This guy's from Zombie 1.
No, he isn't.
It's not.
This is King Seki of the Elusia Kingdom.
Yeah.
He's the vampire dude, Dracula, that was at Reverie.
So I gave this guy a little bit of a forehead here. I'm just gonna point that out.
He's actually a real asshole, we find out. His kingdom, he's a real dick. I mean, he's a vampire, so it makes sense that he would be, But, I've actually talked about this guy surprisingly a lot in my videos, so I knew exactly who he was. He's a vampire that's a king, so it's like, of course you're going to pay attention to him, yeah.
There's 3 points. I
love the extra curve, like his head sort of has like a balcony.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4. Okay. This one might be a little rough, but I have a feeling it's possible.
All right, bring it on.
Okay, here we go. That looks like one of the frickin' brothers from Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that one of the frickin' Tic-Tac-Toe brothers from Yu-Gi-Oh? What are they called?
Tic-Tac. I don't even know what you're referencing from
Yu-Gi-Oh.
No,
it's the like tag team duel, the tag team brothers.
Oh, Para and Docs?
Yeah. Paradox, yeah.
Okay, I go for Docs for $100. Holy shit, I actually...
That's who that looks like.
So I can give you one hint for this one since it's kind of a throwback.
I'll take a hint on this one, yeah.
So this one is actually all the way back from the Baratier.
All right, he's a member of Krieg's crew then.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know his name.
He's one of the jerks. Oh my god.
He's like only in like a couple panels.
That's
so he's
a really
kind of
good
obscure.
drawing.
I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna say a member of Krieg's crew, and that's all I know.
It's
Okay.
Candle Jack.
Candlejack. No.
I thought this guy just had such a banger name that I had to put him in here. But his name is Idea Man.
Oh,
he's
I
got
saw
the-
that!
Oh my god.
Dude, if I had picked Idea Man for my game...
I get it, because he has ideas.
Yeah. He's got a little light bulb going off.
You gotta love
gets an
Krieg.
idea.
Don Krieg is such an idiot. He's just like, you're gonna put a lamp on your head. You're my idea man from now on.
Yeah, and I am kind of realizing, it might have made this one a little difficult because I did not give him his little mustache there. So apologies for
that little
We
one.
would have
pencil.
gotten that. See, you made him look like Docs, and that's not really fair.
Yeah, the little pencil thin mustache, that would have really tied it all together.
Yeah. Okay, so one miss so far, but that's to be expected. But I have one left, and I honestly think the one before this one is harder. So
Alright.
there's a good chance here. But
Well, let's see
here's
what we
who we
got.
got. Here's who we got.
That's Yorkie. Not
Is he one
Yorkie.
of-
Shit, no. He's
one of-
the
my
government
God.
he's the government official Corgi.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, he's the government official that's like, he's not a member of CP or anything. He just like bugs Iceberg to like, come on, give me the blueprints to Pluton. Come on, man, give them to me.
Yeah.
and then they just send Cypherpole 9 after him. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely thought this one was
Yorkie
easier.
was they're both dog breeds, so I'm like a Yorkie and a
Yeah.
Corgi. So that's like what,
I was like, man, he's so close. He's so close.
Yorkie
I
was the captain of Brooks' crew, the Rumbar Pirates. Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Well, you know what? Finished with 4 out of
4 out of
5.
5.
I'm really proud of you guys.
Missed idea, man.
Yeah,
Dang it.
that was the one I was expecting
We
you
were
to get.
close though. We got
I'll
close
always
to it.
remember idea, man. Now I gotta get fan art of idea, man.
Oh shit.
He needs more fan art. I can tell you that much.
That's for sure.
Not a lot of references to go off of, unfortunately.
Not a lot. Yeah.
How the hell do you know so much about One Piece?
I do. Well, it's just.
I mean, I get.
I mean, it's the general idea of just like I talk about it every day, so try to learn as much as you can about the things that you're. It's basically my job essentially. So
Yeah.
read the wiki a lot, reread the manga a lot, watch the anime.
Man.
You just got to do it, man. It's your job, But I also genuinely love the story, so it doesn't feel like a job. But like, and it's just after a while, it just clicks. I was the same way with Bleach, but it's been a while with Bleach, so I've actually lost some of my Bleach knowledge.
That's so impressive. I don't think I know that much about anything, if I'm being honest with you.
I guess YouTube, a lot of times they respond to people if it's like, you're talking about something you're passionate about or if you know a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that from like comments and stuff. It's just like, oh man, Tekking, you know a lot about One Piece. That just makes me like interesting to watch. It's like, all right. So I guess that's the general premise.
Well, you've definitely impressed us with your knowledge today.
Well,
I can tell
thank
that
you,
much.
guys.
That's for sure.
Thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Anytime,
Really
anytime.
appreciate it. I'll
Yeah,
speak
we
for
do.
both of us.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So,
tell the people tell them where they can find you. Tekking.
Oh
They
yeah,
already know.
so
Where
I'm
can
on
they?
YouTube, of course, and Twitter. That's pretty much where I stay. But I also started a Spotify because a lot of people, because my videos are usually like 20-30 minutes long. A lot of people listen to them in like cars or while they like run or do stuff. And it's like, hey, Tekking, you don't really do crazy editing in your videos, so it would probably work really good in a podcast format. So I actually did not know how to make podcasts because I just didn't know how to do it because I'm an idiot. So I talked to Rustage and Briggs about it, and they was like, use this website called Spreaker. And I'm like, okay. So I have all my videos that I've been making in the last like few days up there. I had to go back through a massive back catalog, obviously, and upload some of my bigger ones. But yeah. So I'm on Spotify, YouTube, and Twitter, and that's pretty much where I stay. And then Twitch occasionally whenever I do D&D.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you can find both of us actually on Rustage _ on Twitch, where we do One Piece D&D every other Thursday.
And that's actually, I don't know, the next episode might actually not be until like the 25th, Thanksgiving. Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be Thanksgiving. So.
Yeah, I know that he was mentioning possibly doing it earlier
Yeah,
next week, but
I don't know.
for
I mean,
sure
like
what's
I'd be up for that, but if he's like busy with stuff, that's fine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you get your turkeys for Thanksgiving yet? They're running out. You gotta get one.
Oh. I'm gonna get a Popeyes turkey.
There you go.
What if they're out of turkeys?
They're not. I pre-ordered it already.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
It's like my favorite video game, basically.
Okay. Well, where can they find us, Evan?
Oh, you can find us on Twitch at American_Sushi, on Twitter at Sushi Podcast, and then on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, American Sushi Podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Is there any?
Well, I mean,
really quiet for a
it's your
second
turn
there.
to like.
And
you also got to ask a question. So
we end with a question, and so today's question is, did you reserve your turkey yet? Let us know. It's going to be after Thanksgiving when this happens, so I hope you reserve your turkey for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get that turkey.
Well,
cryogenically freeze that turkey.
Well, hold on. Actually, I thought, you know what? You just really jogged my mind there. Are you guys turkey or ham boys? Let's be.
Honestly, I'm more ham. Like if it's available, I'll have that. But turkey's pretty good too. It depends on how you make it, you know.
I think I also prefer ham, but I do think that a really, really good turkey beats any ham.
Yeah, me and my mom made this apple cinnamon turkey, which literally just basted it in apple juice, threw a bunch of cinnamon sticks in there, cut up apples, shoved it into the turkey. God, it tasted incredible. But I've also had a really good like glazed ham that just blew me away as well. So it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah. But everybody,
really hungry now.
I'm gonna go cook a turkey after this.
We're gonna go cook turkeys. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving, great day, week, month, year.